Hi everyone, my name is Monica and I'm the president of FoggyBottomOrchard.
Hi, my name is Matt Schindel and I'm the vice president and head of strategy for FoggyBottomOrchard.
And before we begin today, I'd just like to take a moment to thank all the judges for being here this afternoon. I know you guys must be getting tired. We also want to thank GW Business Plan Competition. We are truly thrilled and honored to be here today and present our idea with you. So FoggyBottomOrchard is a very, very beautiful, simple concept. We're essentially a fruit stand, and we expect to be on campus in a few months in February 2011. Now, our business model is to focus on a high-quality, delicious product that doesn't exist on campus yet. So today we'll be talking about three things. First, I'll be identifying a crucial problem that exists on campus, which is the lack of a healthy food snack alternative. And second, I'll be telling you how FoggyBottomOrchard is the solution to that problem. And finally, we'll be telling you why, today, we're asking the judges for an investment of only $3,000. Before I begin, I'd just like to tell you a little bit about the fruit that you have in front of you. On your left is fruit from our competitor, the J Street Student Dining Service. And on your right is fruit that FoggyBottomOrchard is going to be providing. So you have oranges and apples, and I invite you to taste them and taste the difference yourselves. The way you can tell the difference with the oranges is that the peel on the J Street oranges is a lot thicker, and the peel of the oranges that we'll be providing is a lot thinner. That's your number one indicator of quality. When you're looking at oranges, you don't want to look at the color, because some of them have been artificially made to look more orange. Now, if you taste them, you can taste the difference. The thinner peel orange is a lot more delicious. It tastes crisp. It tastes like fruit is supposed to taste. With the apples, the J Street apple is your red delicious apple, which is typically very popular in the United States. And the apple that we'll be providing is the Fuji apple, which is also very popular. It comes from Sunnyside Farms, which is only 70 miles west of where we are today. And with the apples, you can tell that it's delicious basically by smelling it. We learned from our first presentation today that 80% of taste is smell. So I invite you to go ahead and smell those apples and see for yourself. One of them does smell actually sweeter, and that is reflected in the taste and the crispness. The other thing that I was going to mention, let me just grab these. The main difference that you can tell visually with these two apples, this is the J Street product and this is our Fuji apple, is that this one is really, really shiny. And what that means is that this one has a lot of food wax on it, which isn't harmful to you. However, it does show that this one traveled a really far distance to get here, because it's been covered in that wax to cover in the fruit juices and keep those inside for a longer period of time. Whereas this one isn't covered in wax. You can tell that it just came from very close by. They didn't need to put a lot of wax on it to cover it to keep those juices and that taste inside. So that's the main difference between those two products. All right, up first, I'm going to talk very briefly about the problem that's facing us as students at George Washington University. Up on the slide, if I can direct your attention here, are a few quotes. The top one is from the GW Hatchet. That's our student newspaper. The one in the middle that's large and glaring is from a senior nutritionist at the GW Medical Center. And her recommendation, basically, as you can see, is to avoid eating J Street food if at all possible, as reported by the GW Hatchet. Now, that is really unfortunate for myself and the other students at George Washington University, because we are mandated to spend some of our dining dollars at J Street. So you can tell from these quotes that this is an issue that receives a lot of priority on campus. Where we eat, how much we pay for it, what quality is, what variety is available to us as students is a pretty big deal.
Our target market are college students that are looking for a healthy food option on campus. Now, you may be asking yourselves, do these students even exist? And I'm here to tell you that, in fact, 75% of the students that we surveyed stated that they have between 1 and 6 servings of fruit in their weekly diet. Another interesting fact that we found out was that students actually prefer whole fresh fruit to pre-prepared fruit options like smoothies or fruit salads. Now, when I was handing out the surveys at J Street, I encountered something that was really eye-opening. I told the students that we were opening a fruit stand on campus, and immediately, without fail, their eyes just lit up, and they couldn't wait to tell me their favorite fruit. Even if it wasn't on the survey, they went beyond and wrote it on the back and told us that we must sell these fruit.
So that's really exciting for us here at Foggy Bottom Orchard because we're trying to solve this problem of the lack of fruit on campus. Again, it's a crucial issue. Students are talking about it all the time. It's very important for us to be able to get good food. And Matt showed you our survey results. We surveyed 400 students, so we believe we got a very good sample. We focused on freshmen and sophomores, which are the students that are required to spend the most money at the J Street University service. It's not at all surprising that everybody was so excited because right now their options are very limited. If you're a student like myself and you want to get some fruit, you can trek all the way out to one of our 2 supermarkets. They're about 15 minutes away, which isn't that far, but when you think about the weight of groceries, and especially the weight of products like fruit, it's pretty far to be carrying, and most students don't have cars. Now, our other option is J Street. We've already discussed J Street. And the third option is the typical street vendor fare that exists on campus. There are between 1 and 7 actual street vendors on campus, depending on the weather, depending on the day. Now, those street vendors basically focus on selling chips, pretzels, candy bars, all kind of products that will be very, very unappealing to our target market.
Now, Monica just told you how we identified a problem on the Foggy Bottom campus. Now I'm going to tell you how Foggy Bottom Orchard is that solution. Foggy Bottom Orchard will provide a quick, healthy, convenient, and high-quality snack alternative to the marketplace. Our product will be the strength of our company, and we will satisfy the need for healthy food on campus. Foggy Bottom Orchard has many success factors. I'll highlight 4 of them for you today. They are our superior marketing, our flexible operations, our management team, and our timing to entry. Our marketing campaign is innovative. We're going to start with a guerrilla marketing campaign where we hire students to walk around in fruit suits. They will walk around handing out coupons good for 1 free fruit in the first week of our operations. After our students walk around in fruit suits, we will embark in an ad and PR campaign with the GW Hatchet, which is a student newspaper. We will also open a website and a Twitter account to keep in contact with our college students. Additionally, we will also have a sticker with our beautiful logo on every one of our fruits. We will have 2 goals in our marketing campaign. Our first goal will be to encourage fruit consumption, and our second goal will be to establish a brand image here on the GW campus.
So our second big success factor is the simple, flexible operation strategy that we've developed. So our next slide is an image of our fruit stand model in our preferred location, which is the GW campus, and it's across the street from the Professor's Gate, which is sort of a landmark. Thank you. Here it is, in person. There we are. And as you can see, it's sort of innovative. It's not what you would typically expect when you go to a farmer's market, right? So you look on the side over here, and you can see that the boxes are in sort of like a tackle box shape. And what that's going to allow us to do is slide those together at the end of the day or in the morning. So we're anticipating that this fruit stand will take no longer than 5 minutes to set up. It should be fairly simple. We've also, these are toothpicks, but we will engineer little legs in the back for the support to keep it up. So we anticipate that it'll be able to carry the heavy weight of the fruit that we're selling. And also, it allows the customer to look at all of the fruit. It's all there. It's all visually very impactful. It's beautiful, colorful, and of course, we'll be giving out free samples so that customers can actually taste our products before buying them. So what this design allows us to do is have maximum mobility and a minimum storage space. Now, the second very important aspect of our flexible operations strategy is the distributor that we've identified. We'll be working primarily with Coastal Sunbelt Produce, and they are a company that is committed and absolutely committed to the local sustainable food movement and to their organic product line. The fantastic thing about that for us is that they're able to offer us a variety of fruit products that are all organic. Especially apples sourced locally here are particularly delicious. The additional thing that makes Coastal Sunbelt Produce a great supplier for us is that not only do they give us those local options, but they're also able to provide us with options like bananas and more exotic fruits that our students are also going to want. But unfortunately, they don't grow within a 150-mile radius of here. Now, we've also gotten confirmation that those fruits will be from sustainable growers as well. So we're not giving up on our ideals and our business commitment to a strong, sustainable local movement by also providing those products, but we're providing them because it's what the customer is demanding. The other two things that I want to highlight very quickly about Coastal Sunbelt Produce is that they are willing, and this is something that's unique about this company. We have surveyed a variety of companies to find producers. They are willing to ship directly to our on-the-street location, which is great for us because it means that we're saving on warehouse and storage space. We don't have to have that. They are willing to ship to us on the street. The other great thing about them is that they're willing to offer us an unconditional guarantee on our fruit, which means that if we find the product unsatisfactory for any reason, we call up our sales guy and we say, we don't like this, and we get a sales credit on our account, which is good for our liquidity.
The third success factor that I would like to highlight is our management team. Both me and Monica have had over a year's experience in both food service and food sales. Monica currently is a sophomore here at George Washington University in the School of Media and Public Affairs, and she is in the honors program. She has a passion for healthy food and the organic food movement. I, on the other hand, graduated last May here from the School of Business with a bachelor's degree in business administration, and I work down the street at Navy Medicine headquarters as a financial analyst. This is giving me experience in accounting and with building my financial management skills.
So as you can tell, Matt is definitely our finances guy. I'm a little more liberal arts oriented. But I think our skill sets are very complementary in that sense. We do complement each other very well. Finally, I'd like to speak very quickly about the timing of our market entry, which I think is absolutely impeccable. Just 2 years ago, in 2007, GW was ranked dead last in a survey of schools that are environmentally friendly across the country. So, of course, our administration reacted to that immediately and swiftly. And there's been a lot of popularity of Green GW, Community Garden, Student Alliance for Justice.
Food Justice Alliance.
Student Food Justice Alliance, and Students for Sustainable Food. Those organizations are growing in popularity. They're getting a lot more members. Their meetings are increasingly popular. They're throwing great events on campus. Just recently, we had the director of Food Inc. on campus, which was quite a treat. So Foggy Bottom Orchard is going to capitalize on that trend. We're going to provide the university with a tangible way to actually show that they are truly supporting the local movement and local food. Not just saying that they're supporting it, but actually having a company on their campus and providing students with those products, those delicious products. So for that reason, we anticipate having the full support of the university behind this initiative, and we're very, very excited about that. So I just spoke very briefly about, with Matt, about the 4 major success factors of Foggy Bottom Orchard. And now we'll give you a little bit about our financial information.
So I'm going to tell you a little bit about our financial information. What I'm going to tell you is about our profit margins, how our business scales, and when we plan to break even conservatively. Our profit margins are seasonal. What this means is that based on the fruit in season, that is the fruit that we will have our highest profit margins. But what this allows us to do is also sell fruit that is not necessarily in season, and we will have lower profit margins. For example, on this graph is a graph of our profit margins for early spring, late winter. At this point in time, citruses are in season. So our oranges will have an 80% profit margin at this time. But on the other hand, strawberries, which in our survey was our most popular fruit, will only have a 20% profit margin. But because of the oranges, we will be able to offset the strawberries, and we will have an average profit margin of 53%. Now our business scales extremely well, and this is due to a couple of factors. What you can see by looking at both our conservative cash flow statement and our projected cash flow statement is that we have a series of fixed costs, and one of them, unusually, is sales tax. We do not pay sales tax based on every transaction. We pay it quarterly. So no matter what, we pay the city of DC $375, whether we were open or not, or whether we sold 30 fruits a day or we sold 200 fruits a day. We still only pay $375 worth of sales tax. And now I'm going to tell you about when we break even. Looking at our conservative cash flow statement, it can be seen that we will break even to our total amount of investment in May 2012. Now Monica's going to tell you what exactly we're going to do with the $3,000.
So we're really, really excited to be here today because we are only asking for third prize in this competition, which is $3,000. To think about it realistically, we really don't need a whole $20,000 to get our business up and running. And we're trying to be as realistic with you here as possible. This $3,000 will enable us to be completely operational by our anticipated opening date of May 2011. So let me just really quickly break it down for you and show you what we're going to use each $1,000 for. The first $1,000 we're going to use for our startup costs, and that's related to how I said that we're going to be completely operational. We're going to use that to pay for our permits, the construction of our stand and the canopy, as well as our basic business license. Once we've got all those things, we're in operation. The second $1,000 is going to go towards the cost of our initial inventory. Now we're anticipating that within 3 months, we'll be able to build up enough capital with this business to continue purchasing inventory from the goods that we've already sold, from our profits that we already have. So, but we do need the initial investment to be able to purchase the initial amount of fruit. So that's what the second $1,000 is going to go to, as well as our first quarterly sales tax, which hits us in our second month of operation. Our final $1,000 is going to be a buffer for our business. Let me just grab my G-Roll real quick. It's also going to serve to help us set up our G-Roll system when that finally becomes available. This is a student G-Roll card. It's the card that I use to swipe into my building, and the card that I use to pay for purchases at J Street has a magnetic strip on it, so that's how it works. And we're currently negotiating with the technology that G-Roll is based on to come up with a mobile solution. Because there are all of these wonderful street vendors on campus, such as Sweet Flow Mobile, who sells frozen yogurt, that definitely could use the extra sales from the G-Roll card. So we're going to negotiate with that producer, and we're going to buy the machine to use it as soon as we possibly can. So that's what the final $1,000 is going to go towards. Finally, I'd like to note for the judges that we are also investing our own cash in this. It's not just the $3,000. We're really, really excited about our marketing strategy. We think it's innovative. We think that the fruit suits are going to grab a lot of attention. We want to get the students exactly where they are, where they're using Twitter and where they're using Facebook. We want to meet them at those junctions with our website and our branding. So we're going to use that $750 to completely cover the costs of our guerrilla marketing strategy, our advertising in the hatchet, and also those stickers that Matt was talking about on the fruit. So today we talked about a problem that this university faces, which is the lack of a fresh, healthy snack alternative on campus. We told you how Foggy Bottom Orchard is a great solution to that problem. And finally, we told you how $3,000 is going to get our business up and running and profitable within a few months of our opening. So we'll be happy to take your questions at this point. Thank you.
I have a question on your profit margin study that you did. I didn't see labor costs anyplace. Are you guys volunteering
Right.
your
We
time?
will be volunteering our time until September of 2011. It will be over the summer, so Monica will not be in school, and she will be volunteering her time at the fruit stand until students come back to school and our profits can go up.
When you computed the gross margin, I presume that was gross margin.
Yeah.
Is that based upon the competitive price that you would sell against J Street, or how?
Yes. It was based on we're selling a quality product, so it is priced accordingly, and that was based on our price per pound that we will sell the fruit for.
And we recognize that pricing is sort of a sticky issue here. It's something that we definitely need to talk about and consider. Students don't typically have a lot of discretionary income, right? We're all living off of ramen noodles and the like. But we do have a tendency at this school to spend a lot of money on good food. You'll see that our target market tends to go to Trader Joe's instead of Safeway and get those higher quality products. So they do exhibit a tendency to pay a higher amount for higher quality goods. So we're capitalizing on that tendency and focusing really on our target market of students who really want that high quality product and are willing to pay the quality price. The price that's also going to suggest to them that we're not like the J Street apple. We're very, very different. You're not buying this apple for 99 cents a unit. You're buying it for a predetermined price by pound, and an investment in our company is also an investment in your health and an investment in the health of the local community.
Are these sales for the month, for the day?
These sales are for the month. They are based on 22 operating days, which is every day of the week except Wednesday when the local farmers market is open.
So in June, how much are you selling per day?
Well, the first 3 months, we will only be open on the weekends. And then we are transitioning to the 22 days a week once school ends.
How much are you going to be selling after a year?
According to these, we will be selling 30 fruits a day in our conservative.
30 fruits a day?
30 fruits a day.
That's correct. Our conservative sales estimates is 30 fruits a day. And if you go to the next graph, we've doubled that there to be 60 fruits a day. We really anticipate that we can sell.
We did some research.
How many hours a day are you going to be open?
Until we are.
When you're running, when you're up and running.
Sure. We're up and running at 8 a.m. to catch the 8 a.m. crowd for 8 a.m. classes. Okay. And we also anticipate that there will be a lot of people coming through from the Foggy Bottom Metro to the areas such as the World Bank and all of those offices that are slightly off the campus. So we'll be open at 8 a.m. Now, our flexible operations strategy basically focuses on avoiding having to store our fruit, which means that we're getting a shipment every morning, and we're basically staying open until that shipment is gone. So that's going to take a little bit within the first few days to figure out how much fruit that exactly is, but we have done a lot of market research, and we have asked students. So those numbers of 30 fruits a day and 60 fruits a day, we're very confident in those
We
numbers.
did market research with some of the street vendors that are currently there, and they estimated that they had between 200 and 300 customers a day that stopped and purchased an item.
Right, but you're selling 60 a day.
Right, on the conservative side. We didn't want to estimate too high because we have only one product, and these carts sell hot dogs, pretzels, chips, sodas, and everything else.
Gotcha.
Yep.
If you sell out after 2 hours, what would you do?
We will adjust our ordering for our next ordering cycle, but we will close down for the day.
That's the great thing that we've been talking with Coastal Sunbelt Produce about. They actually already have or had a fruit
Over the
stand that they
summer.
were supplying, and they negotiated with that company to minimize the minimum payment. Because usually the way that these companies operate is that they say, well, we can give you our wholesale prices, but we'll only give you our wholesale prices if you buy the case, if you buy 500 apples. But they're willing to negotiate with us and set up a contract where we're actually getting daily distribution instead of weekly or monthly or similar to what restaurants would get. So they're willing to be very flexible, which is allowing us to close when we finish selling our fruit for the day.
I have a question. So if you win first prize, will your plans change? Like if you get 20,000?
Sure.
Yeah,
we have grand plans. And actually, this is something that Matt and I have been very actively thinking about is where does this business go from here? Our sort of conservative way of expanding is opening another location. Because street vending is a really popular industry in urban areas, and DC has this terrible street vending industry where you're walking around and all you see is hot dogs and chips, and there's no other options. So I think our first option for expansion is opening up multiple locations.
And our aggressive model would be to buy a van and insulate it and put a mini serve-safe kitchen in this van because originally our idea was to sell smoothies and fruit salads. We found out the hard way through DC law that if you don't have a sink and a serve-safe kitchen, that's simply impossible and it's against the law. So that would be one way we would expand it, is have a truck that is refrigerated, has approved kitchen space and a sink so we could provide other products. Yep.
Just a comment to your market expansion. Would you consider a franchise model where you could actually develop the process really well, try to franchise that the idea?
That was actually the thought process behind the design. We did spend a lot of time thinking about what our model would look like. And that's the reason it looks so different from a farmer's market, is because a farmer's market is a once-a-week thing. The idea behind our stand is that it slides together and it's quick and simple to operate. And that idea, the fact that it's so mobile and so easy to duplicate, allows us to become the kind of company where in a few years, if this is wildly successful, which I'm confident that it will be, we can absolutely move to other campuses across the East. But I'm hesitant to say that because we will be doing more market research and figuring out where a demand for these products actually exists.
At one point in your presentation, you said you were going to talk about how it's scaled. To me,
Right.
scaling is an economy of scale where you get
Exactly.
more profitable the bigger you get.
Exactly.
Seems to me your costs are pretty much a straight line.
Well, but we still, a big thing that has to do with our tax. So we're selling a product that is essentially not getting taxed as we get bigger.
When you open a second stand, is
Or
there a second
no,
tax?
it's because we're still one company.
Ah,
So that was the big thing with our simple expansion of opening another location, is we're still only paying that $375 in sales tax.
Even if we sell 0 fruits or if we sell 15,000 fruits, it is $375 for 3 months.
right. Thank you very, very much.